Why do you revenge trade? If you think about it, why do we revenge trade? How can we limit revenge trading? And we can limit revenge trading actually by understanding why do we do it in the first place. So I want you to recall a moment in time where you have revenge traded. This is what happened, most probably. You lost a trade, you felt negative emotions, frustration, disappointment, anger, whatever it might be, and then you revenge traded right after it. This is what's happening. Now, why is that happening? The reason why this is happening because of a natural response of the brain. Our brain is always seeking the elimination of threat. So whenever we feel threat, our brain automatically, this is how we are wired, will try to seek to eliminate that threat. And therefore, negative emotions are a threat to our brain. And what our brain will try to do is to eliminate those negative emotions. How do we eliminate those negative emotions? By reversing the action that caused them. That's it. So we lost a trade and we feel negative emotions. Our brain's natural response, I want to eliminate these negative emotions. How do I do that? By reversing the action that caused it. What caused it? I lost a trade. How do I reverse it? I win a trade. And therefore let me, what we call revenge trade. What your brain is trying to do is it's trying to win a trade in order to reverse the effect of losing a trade so it can eliminate this negative emotion. So basically revenge trading, it's happening just because your brain is trying to eliminate this negative emotion. Now, what people try to do is when we talk about revenge trading, and when I usually explain this to people, what they usually try to say is they say something like this. They say, you know what, since I have a loss, then I feel negative, then I revenge trade, then what I can do is I can intervene here. So I can feel the negative emotions, but force my brain not to revenge. Like my brain would want to eliminate that negative emotion, but I will not allow it to. I will not allow my brain to do the thing that it was created to do, which is eliminating threat. I will not allow my brain to do that. I will just accept this negativity and I will not allow my brain to revenge. And in my opinion, this is not a solution. The reason why it's not a solution, because it will only work so far. Imagine you're feeling negative emotions every single day, and every single day you have to catch yourself from doing something negative on the charts. It gets very stressful, you lose your hair, and basically it's just a very negative life to live, and it only works so far. Like one day you will break. One day you will not be capable of holding it together and you will revenge trade. So intervening here, in my opinion, is a bad idea because you're always battling with your natural instinct, battling with your brain's natural process of eliminating threat. In my opinion, the place where we should intervene is right here, after the loss. We should not feel negative emotion when we lose. So our brain doesn't seek its elimination. That's it. If I don't feel the emotion to begin with, then my brain wouldn't seek its elimination, then my brain wouldn't seek revenge trading. Therefore, all I have to do is not feel negative when I lose. Now, of course, it's easier said than done, and therefore I'm going to explain to you something that could help you stop feeling negative when you lose. Let me give you an example here. So let me tell you a story about credit card companies. So when credit cards first launched, whenever you walked into a merchant store and you wanted to buy anything, then you'd take it, you'd go to the cashier, let's say, and you'd say, I want to buy this, and I want to buy it with a credit card. The merchant would tell you, hey, if you want to buy it with a credit card, then there is a surcharge, let's say, of $2. Okay, so let's say this item originally is $14, and you go to buy it. The merchant would tell you, hey, there's a surcharge, and therefore you will pay $16. And if you pay cash, then you will pay the normal fair price, which is $14. And therefore the majority of people were like, why the fuck would we pay a surcharge? Why the fuck are we being punished for using a credit card? Fuck it, we don't want to use it. We'll just use cash, as we always did. So therefore people used cash a lot more than they used credit cards because there was a surcharge to using credit cards. So credit cards companies got together and they were like, how do we force people to use credit cards even though there is a surcharge? And this is the change that has been done. If you walk into a merchant store today and you go for the same item, the price would actually be $16. And therefore, if you pay with a card, you will pay $16. So that is the normal price. So the fair price is $16. Now guess what? If you pay with cash, you will still pay $14. However, that is now advertised as the discounted price. So when we just changed this structure, we didn't change the numbers. People are still paying more if they use credit cards, but we just changed the way we identify them. People now use credit cards a lot more because they're like, okay, that's the fair price. If it's $16, then it's $16. I don't want a discount. So even though they'll be saving $2, but they're like, okay, I'm paying the normal price. Right here, it was seen as unfair. Why am I being punished for using a credit card? Right here, it's the normal price. And if you use cash, you get rewarded with a small discount. But you are not being punished if you use a credit card. And therefore, people saw this as fair. So they didn't mind paying it. Even right now, if you go to some gas stations, there is a credit card price and there's a cash price. And most people don't mind paying the credit card price because they're like, that's fair, that's its price. If I pay with cash, I'll get a discount. I don't want a discount. So therefore, when it was being seen as unfair, people didn't want to pay it. When it was seen as fair, people then changed their minds and they were okay with paying it. And therefore, all this to say one thing is that we don't mind paying more. We don't mind giving money away. We don't mind losing money. We don't mind paying as long as we see that it's fair. That's it. We mind what's unjust and unfair. It is not the $2 here that is triggering people. It's $2. The same way a trading loss is only 0.5%. It's $2. It is not the thing that made people angry and we're like, oh no, we want to use cash. It's the fact that we are being punished to use credit cards, which seems unfair. Okay, I don't want to use a credit card. I'll save those $2. But right here, that same $2 is not important. Why? Because the $16 is fair. And therefore, right here, we don't mind throwing the $2 away. Right here, we care so much about saving it. What's the difference? Fair and unfair. That's it. If I ask the question, usually, when you lose money, you feel angry. And I ask people why. They're like, well, because I lost money. That's why I feel angry. I don't like losing money. And I'm like, but you lose money every day. You lose money to watch a movie. You lose money in a restaurant. You lose money, you pay for a Netflix subscription every single month, which I bet over the years amount to more than your trading losses. And you don't even worry about it, or you don't even think about it. You just pay it and lose money willingly with a smile on your face. So it is not the fact that you're losing money that is making you angry. It is the fact that you believe that this loss right here is unjust. That's it. Why? Because if you pay money for Netflix, in return, you receive entertainment. So you believe that's a fair transaction. You don't mind it. You give your money away with a smile. You don't care. If you pay for a restaurant and you receive food, you're like, yes, I lost money, but I received food. I don't mind it. It's a fair transaction. But when people lose money to the markets, they're like, that's unfair, that's unjust. And that's why people are angry, and that's why they end up revenge trading. So how do we fix this? How do we fix this? The way we fix this is simple. If I give money to the markets, the only thing that is making me angry is that I cannot see what the markets are giving me. So I'm like, I gave my money away for what? Why did I lose money? Why did I just pay the markets? For what? What am I receiving in return? I'm receiving money. I'm receiving nothing. The market just took my money away, and therefore I want it back. And I get angry and I revenge trade. But if I see that when I pay the markets just provide me with educational material in form of losses that I get to study and I get to learn from, and I get to become a better trader because of them, and I get to make more money in the future because of them, then I see it as a fair transaction, as a fair investment. I pay the market for education, and that education ends up making me more money in the future. It's a fair transaction. I am paying you, you give me education. Fair transaction makes me less angry about the situation. I no longer see it as robbery. I no longer see it as a scam. I no longer see it that the market maker took my money and it's not fair and I need to make it back. No, I see it as a fair transaction. You took my money and you gave me education that will end up making me a better trader, and I end up making more money in the future, and therefore, okay, good, it's a fair transaction. The moment I started thinking about it this way, this limited my anger towards my losses a lot. It almost solved it. There was just like a few issues that I worked on, but this almost solved it. When I saw it as a fair transaction, okay, yes, I lose. I saw it this way. I see wins as positive for the financial sector, and I see losses as positive for the educational sector. So I don't mind both of them. I don't care. I will lose, I will take the lesson, I will become a better trader, and I will make more money in the future. Fair transaction. Take my money, give me education, no problem. I don't feel angry about it anymore. So this is just a small tip to lower down the amount of anger, frustration, disappointment that you might feel if you lose in a trade. And I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments below.